This week I want to talk about you. Now this isn't for a lifestyle salon, and my version of that is, look, you're happy with everything that's going on. It's giving you just enough money to get by and you're happy with that. Listen guys, you're doing a great job, off you go. This is for people who want to make money. This is for people who aspire to have financial security. But you are also the same person right this minute who's killing yourself. You are killing you guys. There's a whole kind of difference in our industry. We've got the salons, the spas, the barbershops who are going off and they're doing things. You know, they're going into supermarkets, they're growing, they're developing their sales, they're developing their retail, they're developing their teams. And then there's everyone else. Now everyone else is complaining. They're complaining about you haven't got enough staff, you can't get the staff you've got are not very good, they don't listen, they leave. You're complaining about VAT is too high, you can't manage it, you can't control it, you can't get under it. You're complaining about anything. You complain about products, you can't get products, you don't want products, you won't sell them, you don't want to be pushy, they're too high in price, they're too low in price, they're not very good quality, anything at all. The area you live in, terrible area you live in, the shop's in the wrong place, you're in the wrong place, you can't put your prices up, you're too scared to put your prices up, everything is wrong. And you are killing you. Because I know when I go off to someone else's salon, when I go off to someone who's got a salon looking for two salon, when I got someone at 100,000 and they want to get a 200,000, or they're at 250,000 and they want to get a 500,000. When I go to a spa and they want to open their second spa, when they want to expand the building, they tell me, yep, we got all the same problems. But let me show you my recruitment process. Let me show you what I'm doing about getting staff, what I'm doing about training staff, what I'm doing about retaining staff. Let me show you about our retailing, how we are selling, how we are bringing on the product range, the work we're doing with the suppliers. Do you get this? Are you getting me, guys? You guys are killing yourself. Now, like I said, this is for you who want to be successful. You're saying to me, you're saying to other people on the forums, you're saying to your husband, you're saying to your wife when you go home, you know, I really want to make some money. But all the actions you take are the exact opposite. Even when you get advice, when you watch people's videos, when you're watching me now, when you go on a training course, when you go to an exhibition, people are telling you what to do. But those decisions are too tough. You don't really want to take them, do you? You don't want to embrace it. You're not committed to what you're going to do. And the reality is, nobody cares. They don't. The only people who care in your business is you. And the next lot of people who care is your family. Sometimes your team might care about their part and what's got to be done, but generally all you're complaining and mourning and looking for the barriers. That's what you're doing. You know, I do a retail book and a retail course, and I'm passionate about retailing, and it talks about the barriers, all the things that you come up with to stop yourself being successful. And you're doing it with your salons. You must stop, guys. You've got to stop looking for the barriers. I don't care what they are. They could be the government, it could be the local council, it could be a landlord. I know they all exist, but they also all exist for the successful salons. Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever looked at another business and thought, they've got everything I've got to put up with, but they're successful? And what's the difference? The difference is that owner and you. And it's really all psychological. It's all to do with whether you want to be successful. Are you prepared to be committed? Do you take responsibility for yourself? You know, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to mix this up a bit today. I want to tell you a little bit about my life, if you like, and my family. Because, you know, I've got an 11-year-old son. And if you ask him, what, you know, something just went wrong. Maybe he's playing rugby, maybe he's missed a tackle, something's gone wrong. He used to complain about anything. Everyone, the referee, the grass, the weather, anything at all. You ask him now, Morgan, what happened there? Whose responsibility was that? Why did that go wrong? And he'll say, God, it was mine. I'm going to try better next time. I'm going to take a different approach. I'm going to try something else. 11-year-old boy. You know, I was out on my motorbike recently with my son, and we was going through a country lane very, very slowly, about 15 miles an hour. We came around a very slow bend, and a 4x4 was coming the other way, and I ended up in a ditch with him on the back. And later on in the evening he said, let me think then, Dad. So whose responsibility was that? Whose fault was that? And I said, well, I think it was 50-50. And he said, no, it was yours, because you could have taken an action to have stopped earlier. I kind of really got it. I really got him. I got that his psyche was, everything is my responsibility. I mean, in this particular case, as I said to him, well, I could have stopped in the middle of the road, but because I have no control over the other person, they might have run over me. So we ended up in a ditch, but he saw it as it was my responsibility to take the right action. 11 years old, guys. You have got to start taking the actions that are going to change your business. There's no point working with a coach or watching a video or reading a book that tells you to increase your prices and then spend the next 3 or 4 weeks finding the reasons why you shouldn't increase your prices. It's not making sense. It just tells me you are not committed. Do you know what committed is? You know, committed is when your business isn't going very well. Don't forget, now this is not for you lifestyle guys, whatever you're doing, surfing on weekends and you've got enough money to do what you want to do, happy days. This is for you who are telling your families, telling yourselves, telling your staff, we're going to be big, we're going to be successful, we've got loads of problems, but what you're really saying is, I want all these things, but I'm not going to take responsibility. I'm not going to take the actions that I need to take to be successful. Are you with me so far? I hope so. So you salons, lifestyle guys, go and do your thing. The rest of us, we're here trying to make money so that we have financial security for ourselves and our family. And I'm talking big financial security. If you're somewhere in between, then you're lost and it's down to you. Responsibility is yours. Committed is all about doing the things that you don't always want to do, about overcoming the unachievable, about seeing an issue and confronting it. I went on a motorbike trip out of this country, out of the UK, and I was on my own. And the part of this trip was really about me confronting my fears. I'm a great believer that once you identify something as a fear, you should move towards it. Unless it's a lion or a bear, of course. But once you have a fear in business, once you have a fear in your personal life, maybe you've got a health problem, you've got to move towards that problem. And I'm going through a really deserted area, maybe no one. I'm on this motorbike and I get to a river. It looks like a shallow river. And I was confronting myself and I thought, what would my best mate do? Now my best mate, he's some commercial manager for a bank. And he's risk adverse. Everything he does is properly calculated. And I know what he would have done. He would have got off his bike, he would have gone up to the river, he would have got a stick, he would have tested the water, okay? And I was having these thoughts. As I was approaching this river, I thought, what would your best friend do? And he would stop. And eventually, he would analyze it so much that he would turn around and he'd go back. He wouldn't take the risk, okay? So I don't say don't analyze your business, go and analyze it, but take actions that make you go forward. So with that in mind, I get to this river and I thought it looks shallow, let's go for it. I go through this river on this motorbike. The water, which was this deep, was actually this deep. It was up over the wheels, it was in my boots, it was in my exhaust, and we got to the other side just about the bike temporarily broke down. But it's all about taking action. It's all about moving towards the things that are scaring you. The things that are stopping you being successful, guys, move towards them. Okay? So, that's not it. So we have businesses that have got the same problems as you. Whether it's the area they're in, whether it's the government, whether it's VAT, whether it's the minimum wage, whether it's having rubbish staff, whether it's having staff that aren't trained, whether it's people who on apprenticeships, whatever it is, they've all got the same tools as you. But you are choosing to not confront them and use them and deal with them. Okay. Your commitment is like this. You see, when you've got a business which needs to grow, you've got to be committed. Do you know what committed is? Committed means giving up all of your time, giving up your football, giving up your rugby, giving up your whatever you're doing, your snooker, your knitting classes, giving up a lot of your family time, giving up everything to work on your business. Don't start quoting to me work-life balance. That is complete and utter rubbish. Your work-life balance comes after. That's why it's work, then life balance. It's not life, then work balance. Once your business is successful or is operating really efficiently, then we can claw all of this life balance back. And even then, it's about quality of life work balance. It's not about spending 167 hours out of 168, with the children, watching them sleep at every single event they ever do. Okay, if you manage to run a multi-100 million pound business, you go off, do whatever you want. I'm very happy for you. You've got to get committed, guys. Committed. When are you investing in you? Committed would be that you get home from work, you see the family for an hour, you have dinner with them, time to get on this video, time to get on YouTube, time to get onto a webinar, Saturday, Sunday, I'm off to exhibitions. That's what committed is. Committed is when you go to the salon, you finish at 5 o'clock, you're sitting down, let's work out my marketing plan. Okay, it means at 7 o'clock at night, you're phoning a printer, sending out emails. Committed, guys, committed. If you want this business, you can overcome all of those problems. And I know they're real problems. They're just not as big as you are making them. You're allowing them to break down your business. These salons that are successful, whether they're spas, whether they're barbershops, they're not lucky. They haven't luckily, opened 20 or 30 or 40 shops. They wasn't lucky. The organizers, the owners worked really, really hard and overcame all of these problems. Now, I know there's a few variations on this. There are some semi-legal issues with things like self-employed staff, but again, don't use that as your excuse. Overcome it. Use that to your strength. Use what you've got available to become successful. You've got to invest in yourself. And investing in yourself is all about being up here. It's not all about the next nail course, color course, cutting course. It's about you developing. How many of you have got an actual marketing plan? My box, my inbox in January, about 10 days in, is like Blackpool lights. And it basically says, Carl, what can I do to make money? My business is rubbish this month. You can't do anything. Why are you phoning me in January? Phone me in November and we'll talk it through. We'll put a plan together in November for January. Okay? November for February. December for March. January for April. You're not planning, you're not investing time, you're not developing the skills. That's all you're doing is killing yourself. You're killing your own ideas. You just are killing yourself off. They're excuses and they're failures. You don't need to be like that. That's all you've got to do is confront your fears and move towards those fears. There's plenty of help out there. There's a coach on every corner. Some of them will be right for you. Get some coaching help. Get some help from all the other materials that are available. Webinars and seminars and books. Focus on things. Get things done. Focus on having a successful business. And that means making sacrifices. And as my 11-year-old boy would say, it's your responsibility for yourself. Take responsibility for yourself. Okay, now this is a bit of a rant really, but I want to get that emotion across. And if I can just get one of you to wake up tomorrow morning and think, I'm done with all these excuses, I'm going to sort out my recruitment, I'm going to sort out my VAT, I'm going to sort this out and I'm going to be successful, then this will have been worthwhile. It's all about matching your ambitions with your action. Okay? If you've got no ambition at all, then that's great. Go off and be non-ambitious, but don't spend your life complaining about it. Go off and be a lifestyle salon. The rest of you that want to make money, maybe you want to get in contact. If not, go and work hard.